collecting and carrying water. Globally, girls lag boys in achieving educational targets, and the lack of water is a cause. Girls miss school when, like their mothers, they shoulder the burden of collecting water. And they are absent and drop out early for the lack of privacy and security, something as simple as a toilet in which to practice menstrual hygiene. Again, our researchers are involved, exploring the practical implications of the recent recognition of a human right to water and sanitation, what it means, what it comprises, how to measure compliance with it, and how to support its implementation. And again, basic questions remain unanswered. Evidence suggests that water planning and management are more effective and more efficient when women are involved. We shouldn't be surprised. But it also confirms that often they are not. And how to enable and secure that participation still remains unclear. Secretary of State Clinton also referred to national security. She reiterated that at the UN General Assembly just 2 weeks ago, saying that water is fundamental now to peace and to security. A National Intelligence Council report that was prepared during her leadership reached worrying conclusions. That water-related problems would lead to the instability of countries, and that instability, combined with other factors, may lead to country failures. That water may be increasingly used in terrorism and inter- or intra-country leverage and conflict. That depletion of groundwater for irrigation in areas like the Middle East and the Western US would stress national and global food markets. And that water shortages and pollution would adversely affect the economic performance of countries through energy generation, manufacturing, resource extraction. I confess when I read this, it was kind of a bit like I'd expected from a national security report. What shocked me was the next part. That report went on to conclude that improving water management provided opportunities to cope with all of those concerns. I can barely imagine a more wide-ranging, exciting, and influential research agenda. Understanding of every single one of those challenges and opportunities is insufficient. And finally, protecting the environment is perhaps so linked to water that it needs no explanation. It's fundamental to the ecosystems of which we are part and on which we depend. Those ecosystems have value in biodiversity and conservation, through natural beauty and enhancement of our quality of life, by supporting industries like tourism and fishery, and through the natural treatment services that they provide us for the wastes that we pour into them. Here and abroad, those ecosystems and the services that they provide us are threatened. We use, for example, Lake Victoria, the third biggest lake in the world, which has been systematically diminished by population growth, invasive species, agricultural runoff, and industrial effluents, undermining subsistence fishery, degrading beauty, leading to the extinction of half the fish species that once shared this planet with us. Here in North Carolina, climate change may fundamentally affect the future of our Outer Banks, and responding to the energy demands that we experience brings the potential impacts of fracking to freshwaters and of offshore drilling to coastal waters. Again, UNC researchers are engaged, determining the value of ecosystem services to humankind, investigating the effects of the Deepwater Horizon oil rig spill, and developing state-of-the-art models to predict storm surges from hurricanes and tropical storms. And yet we still know so little about some truly urgent and complex issues. For example, the connections between the demands we make on water, energy and food, densely interdependent, and the way in which those demands are driven by both a growing and an ever more demanding population, whether locally, nationally or internationally. Clearly, Secretary of State, the US Secretary of State, sees water as a critical opportunity. Holden, you set the bar for us when you described our to-do list as as nothing less than the greatest challenges of our time. We set the bar, we jumped. Just a few months ago, we committed to mobilise around a common theme that was facing our society, and we adopted water not only as this university's first ever campus-wide theme, but the first two-year theme of any US university. Here, we're already developing new courses with collaborations across disciplines and among schools, expanding interdisciplinary research initiatives. We're celebrating the vibrancy, the power and the beauty of water through new creative works in the visual, performing arts, with student, faculty and visiting artists from all over our world. And we're recognising and securing the added value of combining the perspectives from different disciplines within humanities and sciences, combining those to give greater insight on how to challenge, how to confront today's complex water challenges. I think my second advocate, Charles Fishman, captured the vision of this theme better than any of us in his book, The Big Thirst. He said, "The goal is not just to bring water issues to the prominence for students, no matter their area of study. The frank ambition of the two-year effort will be to make Carolina a global centre of water, expertise and innovation. To do for water what, for example, Stanford does for Silicon Valley. Remarkably, there isn't any place like that in the US today." Earlier today, we all gathered by the old well. And as far as I can tell, UNC is the only university in the world to have a piece of water infrastructure as its official symbol. Today it serves mainly as a stunning photographic backdrop and a place where our students, by tradition, take a drink for good luck. But for many years, we should not forget that it's served as the source of water for the inhabitants of our student residences, for everything from drinking through to washing. In 1923, long after the well was converted to the form that we saw today, a survey of tenant farmers in North Carolina showed that none had running water, and 8 of 175 had outside privies. In case anyone's in any doubt, the ones that didn't have outside privies didn't have inside privies either. That's roughly the situation of rural Somalia today. In less than 100 years, this state has transformed itself. This university contributed to that transformation, and managing water contributed to that transformation. Today, a new cycle of water challenges confront North Carolina, the US, and the world. These are challenges that will demand interdisciplinary initiatives that will deliver financial innovation in managing water supplies, technological innovation in augmenting water resources, scientific innovation in understanding the health and ecosystem impacts of new contaminants, social innovation in bringing water and sanitation to the unserved, policy innovation to address threats such as climate change, and artistic innovation to raise awareness of global water challenges and convey the universality of water. These are challenges that require vision and cooperation to solve. They're challenges that require evidence to inform policy and to improve practice. They're challenges that call for academic leadership. Colleagues, I believe that we have a rare, possibly unique opportunity. In a university that can both celebrate water and study water, the benefits from faculty, staff, and student bodies that pull together. And thanks to the giants on whose shoulders we stand, and one of whom we lost earlier today, we have the opportunity to become a leader, the academic leader, for a defining challenge of the 21st century. And if we choose to take that opportunity, we have the capacity to leave this state, this nation,